Hi, my name is Mary. I'm a compulsive overeater. I weigh, measure 3 meals a day off the gray sheet. I write it down. Committed to my stunning sponsor or someone else with 90 days of back-to-back gray sheet abstinence. I don't eat in between meals no matter what. And abstinence is the most important thing in my life today. And I'm abstinent today by the grace of God and fellowship of this community. And my abstinence date is April 25th, 1995. So I just celebrated 29 years of back-to-back gray sheet abstinence. And I thank Stephanie for asking me to share. Too bad this is not visually recorded because Marathon Mary, I need to explain for those who've never heard of me, is not because I talk really fast or a lot, or I go on to the phone bridge meeting, marathons, which I do. It's because I have trained for and run in 13 abstinent marathons, and I have all the they're called finisher medals. I guess I still say I'm a winner because I finished. Okay, sorry. Okay, and I also put them in a tool belt. I've also been known as tool belt Mary, so I put them in a tool belt. So when I share, I can just pull them out. I drink water. This is I used to drink soda. Don't drink soda anymore. I used to cut my vegetables and my salad, but the sponsor I have right now, I can do either or. In this particular, I love this 1 cup measure. And yesterday I took it out of the dishwasher and it was dirty. My wife freaks out when I do that. I said, babe, it's my favorite cup. And I'm going to wash it out, so don't worry about it. She goes, no, none of all the other cups that you have in that drawer will do. I said, no. On my 10th anniversary, my wife bought me, it's handmade pewter. This is the 1 cup vegetable. It's good for kind of scooping, which makes it easy for me. Okay, this is the regular 1 cup. Then I have a 1.5 cup. And this is another favorite because when I go to a restaurant, it's a 2 cup measure. And they told me when I started cupping, Mary, you can fluff it, put your hand over it, or you can stuff it, put your elbow in it, step on it, you know. And I prided myself that I could get 2 cups of a canned vegetable into a 1 cup measure. Somebody says, how do you do that? I said, you squeeze all the water out, squeeze it all out. And that's what I do. And also, back in the old days, people would suggest put this tablespoon on your keys. In case you decide to go out to eat, you'll have that tablespoon. And then here's a scale that I got from Amazon. I don't even know the name so that I could tell you. But always have a scale on you for those last minute dinner reservations, so you can be spontaneous, so to speak. I got this bag. I don't know, can you see it? Okay. This bag, I got it from Home Goods, and it's actually a lunch bag. And I used it this past weekend because my wife's nephew got married. It looked very fancy when I went out to the rehearsal dinner on Friday night because I had my little black dress on and it matched it perfectly. Inside, I have this scale, nothing fancy. Ocean State Job Lot, $10. I have it. I use it in my kitchen every day. It's one of my to-go scales as well. And got this at a retreat. I think it was Connecticut retreat. Little, I put that in my bag too, a little cutting board just in case. I also take an empty container just in case I need something, which I did from the cocktail hour for the dinner when that was served. And I have a plethora of what are these things called? I'm sorry, the brain thing's not working. Spatula. Okay, that's that. And I already said, and they told me about the literature. This is my first 12-step program. Okay, and a former sponsee sent me a new big book that has this beautiful purple cover. And in addition to that, she also sent me a 29-year coin. I was hoping she'd be in town to give it to me, but she won't be. Little red book, oh my God, fascinating. I know it's not conference approved, but it's got some good information. 12 steps. This is 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and that's what I was trained on. This is my latest edition of literature's Living Abstinent. Oh my God. What?
5 minutes.
5 minutes on? Oh, okay. And in addition to the I had the gray sheet. I also have this printed with it. It's called the clarification. A GreySheeters Anonymous World Services Abstinence, GreySheet Abstinence Clarification and Sponsor Guides. If you've never heard of it, I'll put my contact information. I'll be happy to email it to you. And also, in addition to my marathon medals, I have all the not all of the medallions that I've gotten for the last 20 years, but that's why I say I do it. I do this every year because every year I get a coin. It's like guilt, right? So, and then I heard somebody share that they passed their coins on, and I'm like, in my head, the old self would go, I'm not giving anybody my coins. I earned those. But now it's really nice because it's kind of special when I pass it on to sponsees. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do the belt with the cups because they're very noisy. And my sister-in-law has been staying with me because my wife is convinced I'm going to set the house on fire, but I'm not. I haven't yet. So 15 minutes. Service is very important to me. So when I'm asked to do service, if it's not too late in the evening, I definitely do it. And I've been on the New York City Roundup Committee, so I know faces on the Pacific West Coast Hollywood Squares version by going to the New York City Roundup and World Service. I was actually the chair of GreySheet World Service when the clarifications were worked on and put into effect. And I see a couple familiar faces, and it's a gift. So just like I like to say, this program is a gift I give to myself every day. So whenever I do a qualification, I like to read what's on page 66 in the big book. It is plain that a life which includes deep resentment leads only to futility and unhappiness. To the precise extent that we permit these, do we squander the hours that might have been worthwhile? But with the alcoholic or compulsive eater, whose hope is the maintenance and growth of a spiritual experience, this business of resentment is infinitely grave. We found that it is fatal. For when harboring such feelings, we shut ourselves off from the sunlight of the spirit. The insanity of alcohol or food returns, and we drink or eat again. And with us, to drink or eat is to die. And I always say there should be an asterisk. It doesn't say like you can't have resentments. It gives you the answer on page 552. Tells you what to do. Pray for the person. Pray for them for 2 weeks, however long it takes. And then at the end, it says, he said, in effect, if you have a resentment you want to be free of, if you will pray for the person or the thing that you resent, you will be free. If you will ask in prayer for everything you want for yourself to be given to them, you will be free. Ask for their health, their prosperity, their happiness, and you will be free. Even when you don't really want it for them and your prayers are only words and you don't mean it, go ahead and do it anyway. Do it every day for 2 weeks, and you will find that you have come to mean it and to want it for them, and you will realize that where you used to feel bitterness, resentment, and hatred, you now feel compassionate, understanding, and love. I say there should be another asterisk that says, see page 417 in the big book, which says, an acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I find no serenity until I accept the person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Until I could accept my alcoholism, compulsive overeating, I could not stay abstinent or sober. Unless I accept life completely on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world as on what needs to be changed in me, in my attitudes. And that's if I choose to, and that's why I like to say that the steps for me are the now out of the program. I lost the weight a long time ago.
10
And
minutes.
do you say 5 minutes or 1 minute?
It's been 5 more minutes. Yeah.
So I have 5 more?
Yes.
Oh, cool. 6 minutes. Yes. Okay. So some of them, no matter what, I've had since I've been in Gray Sheet. Well, first of all, I have to say I grew up in the New York City community, and they told me, Mary, go to meetings, raise your hand, just say where you're at. And it was great because New York City, these women would say, I met my husband, blah, blah, blah. He gives me big fruit. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a plan for me. And somebody said, how'd you meet your wife? And I said, well, I kept asking people, do you know any nice girls? And most of them would say, no. And I actually asked somebody at a Gray Sheet meeting, there were 3 sisters, and one was there with her daughter, and said, what do you think about, Diane, that's my wife's name, Diane for Mary? And she goes, yeah, yeah. So we've been together 24 years, officially married for 12. So as soon as they changed the law, I proposed, and she goes, I want a dress and I want a ring. Somebody said, well, what did you get? I said, I got a dress. And I said, I have a 2008 BMW Z4 convertible in the garage, and that's worth a lot more than the ring I bought her. So I tried to make it even, but So, and she is the most amazing person. She fully supports Gray Sheet. In fact, my latest, no matter what, for those who don't know, on December 13th, I was driving home from work, and I had a massive stroke. My brain was being deprived of oxygen, had no idea. It was the scariest thing, and had no idea what the warning signs for a stroke was. So otherwise, yeah, I think I would have pulled over before I hit the car, which got me to the hospital. So my right carotid artery was completely blocked, and again, depriving my brain of oxygen. So they operated on me, and who do you think the first person my wife called? Not any of my sisters and nobody else. She called my sponsor. She goes, how do I keep Mary abstinent? Because it's the most important thing. So if you have a partner who's not in Gray Sheet, make sure they know your sponsor's number. I was floored, and yeah, she's truly a gift, and as is my sponsor. And I lost both my parents while I was abstinent. Well, my mom died. Was she the best mom? Not necessarily, but she was my mom. I never thought I cried so much in my whole life until the first dog I had from a puppy died the same year. And I was like, when you go, it was terrible. It was just terrible. But because he totally depended on me, I left home. I grew up in Michigan, in a suburb of Detroit. And I moved as soon as I graduated from high school. So I call my mom like once a week, And anyway, and my dad passed away. I was just grateful that he was reunited with his Dolly, as he would call her. Anyway, and both my parents taught me the power of prayer. So when I had the stroke and I was in the rehab, I couldn't get to sleep at night, and I contacted people who had passed, GreySheeters that had passed, and I talked to them, and I said, and you know what they told me? It's not your time, Mary. You have much work to do, and it's not working at the lawyer's office where you work. You need to do God's work. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm still here. Actually, I think my wife negotiated God. She says, you can take the house, you can take this, you just leave Mary.
1 more minute.
Okay, 1 more minute. This is the most amazing program, and it has the most amazing people in this fellowship, because literally people would tell me afterwards, they said, you have no idea how many people prayed for you. I said, I do know, because when I was in the bed at the rehab, I literally could feel myself being lifted up because I knew everybody was praying and I felt it. I felt it. As I pray for all of you, and if that I have ever met, I pray for, especially in Gray Sheet, because one goes down, we all go down. That's why when I hear people say they're in relapse, this woman said, I'm a chronic relapser. I said, well, how about you change it just slightly, because, what you say, is a book called As a Man Thinketh, So Shall You Be. So if you just change the language and make it a little bit more positive, maybe you don't have to own that. So it's a gift I give myself. I answer phone calls. People will say, Mary, you always answer the phone. I said, well, that's what I'm here for. Not the
I'm there
complaint
every-
department, but I'm so grateful to meet old friends that I haven't seen in a while, and new people who are meeting me for the first time. So like I said, it's a gift I give myself every day. I'm qualifying tomorrow at a face-to-face meeting. And I said to my wife, I hope I can get through it without sobbing, and I can feel the tears well up. And so grateful we do this together. That's it.